Live from KELOLAND Media Group, KELOLAND This Morning.
Hundreds of KELOLAND kids in need will have new backpacks to sling over their shoulders as they head off to classes next month. Well, this morning, we'll show you how Sioux Falls Church's mission is to make sure they'll have all the supplies they need for a successful start to school. Plus, holding up in the heat, how people in Sioux Falls are preparing for a return to triple-digit temperatures. Good morning. This is KELOLAND on the Go with all you need to know in news and weather as you start your Sunday. We also have your Boredom Busters coming up. But first, our top story. A Sioux Falls church is helping lighten the financial burden of back-to-school shopping for many KELOLAND families. New Beginnings Faith Church hosted this backpack giveaway Saturday, handing out some 400 backpacks full of school supplies within 2 hours. All of the supplies were purchased by members of the congregation.
For families that have multiple kids, it gets to be quite expensive, and if they can come here and we can relieve some of that burden for them so that they can know that they can send their kids to school with school supplies and not be concerned about, well, where is that going to come from, and it doesn't have to come from some other area of their budget.
The church will donate the remaining backpacks to the Children's Home Society. As you get ready for the new school year, make sure to check out our Back to School page here on KELOLAND.com. There you can find school start dates and all of our recent back-to-school stories. A former South Dakota state lawmaker has died. David Lust of Rapid City served in the legislature for 11 years and was the Republican House Majority Leader for 4 years. Lust died Friday at the age of 53. Funeral arrangements are pending. People across KELOLAND are bracing for a hot week ahead with temperatures topping 100 degrees in parts of South Dakota. But the heat isn't preventing people from getting outdoors and enjoying events over the weekend. Last night's Levitt at the Falls concert drew a big crowd to downtown Sioux Falls. Music lovers came prepared for the heat by staying hydrated. It also helped that the concert was in the evening when it's a little cooler.
This is going to be a good night. Good night. You don't get very many evenings like this where it's not windy or cold or cloudy or rainy, you know, so it's a beautiful night. People got to come out and see this. It's great.
I am loving the heat, especially with our South Dakota winters and how cold they are. I embrace it.
The Levitt staff also displays colored flags to alert concert goers about weather conditions. The next free Levitt concert is Thursday night. Let's get our first check of the forecast now with meteorologist Brian Karstens in the Storm Center. Good morning, Brian.
Good morning, Perry. Good morning, everybody. Well, not a lot of rain out there, certainly the last 24 hours. And what we see today probably will be very isolated to a couple of spots. The Black Hills again, could see a few thunderstorms today. Vast majority of these rain gauges, though, are going to stay at 0. We're kind of living off of now the rain that we had in spots earlier in the month. You can see the areas painted in green are still technically above normal a bit here the last 30 days. And that's really been interjecting a little life back into some areas of South Dakota, at least on some of these grasslands. But, you know, even those spots that have greened up, it tends to go the other way quickly, doesn't it, when it gets so hot? And that's our problem the next 3-4 days. We're going to be scorching hot in the west and central especially. Today's high close to 100 in Pierre, 103 in Phillips, Sioux Falls 93. I think the hottest air of the season is coming in Tuesday, Wednesday. We'll talk about that, Perry, coming up.
All right, thank you very much, Brian. Well, the Hunt for Habitat raffle has already generated $1 million to improve wildlife habitat in South Dakota. The program got its start 2 years ago as part of Governor Kristi Noem's Second Century Initiative. This year's lucky winners will be able to hunt buffalo, antelope, deer, and elk with the weapons of their choice. We'll show you how the Hunt for Habitat is changing the landscape of South Dakota in tonight's Eye on KELOLAND at 10. The traveling exhibit, A Call to Honor the Tomb of the Unknown Soldier replica, is on display today at the South Dakota Military Heritage Alliance. The free exhibit goes from 9 to 5 and includes a concert by the Sioux Falls Municipal Band at 3 p.m. Visitors can learn the history behind the replica's creation and what it represents. You can enjoy more free music from the Municipal Band later during an 8 p.m. concert at the Terrace Park Band Shell. Christmas in July is the theme of this evening's Sioux Falls Sunfish baseball game against the Souris Valley Saber Dogs. First pitch is at 6:35 at Terrace Park in Sioux Falls. Tickets start at $8. Money raised will purchase Christmas gifts for children and adults at Lifescape. The Canaries baseball team takes on the Lincoln Salt Dogs at Sioux Falls Stadium. First pitch is at 2:05. The world-famous Harlem Globetrotters display their basketball talents on the court of the Denny Sanford Premier Center in Sioux Falls. Game time is at 3 o'clock. Tickets start at $20. Liberty Tax on East 10th Street in Sioux Falls is hosting a Christmas in July roadside party that includes games, bounce houses, and food trucks from 11 to 4. Wristbands to the bounce houses are $7, with all proceeds going to the JC's Holiday Gifts for Kids program. And enjoy a night of racing at Houston Speedway in Brandon. Gates open at 4:30, hot laps are at 7:30, the races start at 8:15. Tickets are $18, $10 for students, and free for children 12 and under. Brian?
All right, Perry, as we wrap up with weather, the hot weather continues. Of course, a south wind, too, today. A little stronger in Pierre as those winds really try to, dry things out even more. I mean, this is just more of the same that we've had as we endure the heat today. We do see a couple of thunderstorm chances in the Black Hills, so that's been occurring, and I think today's another shot at that. And then as we flip the page to tonight, I want to point out a couple of things here. We do have a wave that's coming across northeast South Dakota, and this zone from Aberdeen to Watertown may light up with some thunderstorms late this evening. And so keep that in mind north of Sioux Falls into southwest Minnesota. We might be able to get a few of those going during that overnight period. In fact, they may linger into tomorrow morning. So Sioux Falls right now is at a 20% level, but I would increase that for Brookings and Marshall and Watertown. There are going to be some spots there where a few of those gauges will pick up hopefully more than a quarter inch of rain, and I imagine with the increasing humidity we should be able to do that. Now that aside, then we just transition back to hot weather. I think most of the day Tuesday and Wednesday will just be hot. That area of high pressure is getting closer to us, and that's really the core of the heat. So that's the worst of it. Now, beyond Wednesday, then we're seeing a shift. We've got that area of heat slipping to the south, and that's ever so important because it can open the door to some of those monsoon rains from the west, kind of running right up and around the bend there into South Dakota. And that would be helpful if this can link together. We could get some thunderstorm chances starting late this week. And the pattern, I think, may continue beyond that as we start August. Hopefully the worst of the heat might settle a little bit away from us. Not to say we're not out of the woods on some of this heat, but the worst of it might just be done, hopefully for a while. Here we go. High today, 93 Sioux Falls, 99 in Pierre. That 7-day forecast. Sioux Falls, our projected high is 101 on Wednesday. Not only is it hot, that would actually tie the hottest temperature for the summer, but back when we hit that level in June, we had very little humidity that day. I remember that. I think it was around my birthday. And here we go. This time around, the humidity could be as high, well, the dew point near 70s. So if you get that combo, we're going to probably start talking about some excessive heat advisories, those kind of things, so keep that in mind. It's going to be pretty tough. Aberdeen, same boat here. Tuesday, Wednesday, very hot, perhaps a little drier humidity, but Aberdeen could still have some humidity in there. As we work our way west, though, we're probably less likely to see that West River as we get into Tuesday and Wednesday. And that heat in Pierre is going to be, that would be 105, 106, the hottest of the summer so far. And then we get through that. We get a break a bit on Thursday and Friday. It's at least a little bit better in the right direction there. Thursday's forecast 100 on Tuesday in Rapid. I do see the probability of more thunderstorms in the Black Hills, though, later in the week. Find out more coverage with our Storm Center update that's posted right now at KELOLAND.com. And have a good Sunday.